Check, 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 check. That should fix it. Thanks. I was trying not to wear the headphones and just use my webcam mic, but that seems to not be picking up for whatever reason. That's only one song. I don't want that. I need a whole, like, 3 hours. Let's listen to the Shire. I think fresh testing when you're gonna need it. I can't talk. We're gonna need a fresh diamond blend. I don't know. This Lord of the Rings is gonna put me right to sleep. Alright, let me see. What's the best setup? These fire blasts are sweet. I would say, yeah, as long as you have a good, like a brighter yellow-red wash. Some of the dollar ones, I would say, were not as perfect. You getting ready to go in the office? Or are you there? Work from home today? What's going on over there? Mind my own business. I think that the fire blast on the Arbiter was even a level higher because those black rims. Nice. I would like to be done with my projects. I'm just gonna test and then box, maybe. Maybe that'll be my best situation. There we go. I knew I'd hit that eventually. We're going to a minor league baseball game tonight. Anybody got something fun? It's like youth night from our my son's baseball league, so all the baseball players get tickets to go run around and annoy their parents. A collection launch this evening. Does she have a physical store? Are the gem and crystals? Is this this sounds like wearables? What up, Jurgen? I picked this music out just for you. Online store, bracelets. Okay. Does she individually craft any of the wearables? Like, is she ordering the gems, sourcing the gems, and then creating the bracelets? Or is she sourcing a bracelet or like the whole piece, and then she's the retail shop? So the reason I say I picked this music for Jurgen is, I don't know why, but some Lord of the Rings talk has started in the G2 Discord, and a couple of us were saying how, well, somebody was saying how the audiobook, they couldn't make it through it, and then they said that they fall asleep when they go to watch the movies, and I agreed with them that when I turn on one of the Lord of the Ring movies, I'm getting a nice nap. So Jurgen was not having the Lord of the Rings slander, so I turned on some Lord of the Rings Shire music for him. Okay. I don't know. I like that back door stuff of a business. So you're sourcing it. You have to decide, what do I think is going to sell? How many do I need to get? How custom do I need to go? All sorts of stressful decisions when you're putting your money into a product that may or may not sell. And as a one-man shop, that's why so often I do the little pre-order stuff, especially on the oddball items that I have no idea people are going to want. Oh, I got to do that. I'm trying to think how violent. I think the violence is probably a step too much. I have an 8-year-old. So maybe we'll try it. I don't know. Maybe 10's the right number to go back. The honey buzzard is nice. It's kind of like, I kind of think of it, it's a little bit of a more powerful hawk, I want to say. And that's actually kind of comparing it to the D-bearing that I've been playing mostly. I haven't thrown a C-bearing hawk in a long time. Maybe that should be my first review back, is the honey buzzard, and I'll compare it to the hawk D in a honey buzzard if I can find it. I lost it. Don't tell Jeremy. But I would say that this is very enjoyable, very pocketable, way different than the current standards, right? Like if you look at this guy and then what it's like, what you're playing right now probably is something similar to a jackpot. Like, even if I compare it to my construct, like it's a good bit smaller. The construct is a little bit more bulby feeling, Bulbasaur feeling, bulbous baseball. Yeah, I submitted the order for the shops on the Area 55, the Puck, the LLT2. I submitted the order for the quote. So I just have to pay them to confirm it, which I'll do that today. I want to know if the sweet spot's going to come back down to me, or if I'm going to have to continue to grow with width. Because I think the AL7 Herdy is kind of my sweet spot. Where I can play the Unity, I can play the Jackpot, I can play, what else is wide? Like the loadout wide. But I also don't necessarily want to carry that yo-yo and play it all day. I like it to be a little bit thinner. So I'm wondering if it rotates back to me, to my style and what I'm liking, or maybe I'm just off now from what I think people will get back to. I try not to focus on the comp scene because I don't feel like my market is directly the comp scene. Competitive yo-yos, but not what the 14-year-olds are all about. So, like Dan's a perfect example. Dan loves the Cobra. As soon as we get art for the Cobra will be out, but it's not super wide. It's right there at 50. A 48 millimeter Wraith. Let me see how wide this one is. And then I'll let you know if you got to kill somebody. I've had this proto for a while because I don't really know. It's different enough, but I don't know if I want to, like, what do you call it? Like, future-proof it? So do I need to push it a little bit further than where it's at? I'm not sure. I've actually probably had this proto for 6-8 months. Let me see how wide it is, though. I have 2 colorways left on the original Wraith that will retire it. But I'd like to have the future Wraith in place. So this one's 48. And you're asking for 48. So, Nappy. Nappy. You want to buy a Wraith Proto, Nappy? I'll send it to you and you tell me what to change on it. If anything. I don't think it's going to come all the way back to 45, I don't think. But I do think that it might be a 58-48. A 48 to 58. All right, Nappy, you got it. You are committed to a review on the prototype, what you like, if it's what you would have hoped for as the Wraith 2. What other protos do I have? I've got 5 over there waiting. Not really that I need feedback on, though. He just specifically said, like, what are the chances he says he needs a 48mm Wraith, and that is the prototype I have. I've got a joke proto. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think I'm going to give it away on Patreon. I've got Dan's SS Evolution. Then I've got the other Dan's version of a Cobra. I've got Ryan's version 2 prototype, and I've got the Death Wolf version 3 over there. Nico, he's buying the yo-yo still. I think you missed that portion. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's coming up in a live stream. But yeah, SS Evolution. Oh, you didn't miss it. You were just offering a different option. I got you. What is actually Neil the Seal? The Cobra with a flatter cup. It just has that little nipple for the axle. I changed the midship completely from this, like stepped, like the Wraith. I changed that completely to like a dome that's on like the Guardian and the Council. I think it fits it overall better. Destroying infrastructure, gotcha. Are the seals, are they like protected there? You can't capture and release? I have not cut the bear cap before. Bear trap. Actually, I forgot that was a yo-yo. But if you want to send one in, I'll cut it. So you can see where it's pressed. You specifically asked on the Cobra. I do think that the spike could have been on the Cobra, but I didn't want to mess with it too much from how much Dan liked it and like with the prototype and won a contest with it. Hey, what's up, Mark? Is your heat wave over yet, Sparkster? Got a fire blast for you. I haven't looked at the numbers of claims. Let me see here. That's 5, 10, 12, 17, 20. I mean, as long as there's not over 25 claims on the fire blast, there should be a couple extra. The only thing I am worried about is how many people are going to claim a second, because it is a one-time release. Like there's not any more outside of the one colorway for Zipline, and if customs ever get going again. So I do think that there's going to be a lot of claims, because it'll be your only chance to have your backup. Nico, you like Lord of the Rings? Or are you and me and Cliff's club that you don't? I don't really understand Cliff's. Collector of Lord of the Rings, but not Lord of the Rings fan. Hey, every once in a while I get Cliff a yo-yo he likes. I think I like the idea of Lord of the Rings. Like, if you condense the story, it's pretty cool. I also like the Tolkien converting C.S. Lewis, so that makes me want to like it even more. I think, like, you know how they have the director's cut of Lord of the Rings? I want the reverse. So instead of extended, I want it condensed. MK1, I think he just made a Lord of the Rings yo-yo that's licensed by them. So that's why they were talking about it. Cliff, I'm not going to complain about you buying my yo-yos, but I am going to tease you. Exactly. Lord of the Rings, and it's got to be under an hour and a half. So you got to cut an hour out, and I know that you can. So Palantir, the only thing I think of every time I see that is the company. I don't know how it's related to Lord of the Rings, obviously. Ooh, doggy. Perfect cup. Like, this is your Lord of the Rings, the Eye of the Eye, like, what is it? Saruman? This is the fiery mountain. I think like the art of the original one was the coolest. I don't like a lot of the art on the current run. Mark, I should probably send that back to him or cut it in half. He sent me one for Let's Cut a Yo-Yo, and then I never did it. The ring around. Well, I'm going to a baseball game tonight, Nico, and then we got a pool party tomorrow. I'm smoking some 2 pork butts. What do you got, like 22 pounds of pork butt? Pool party not at my house. If I had a pool at my house in the summer, we would not have any releases. Alright, let's go to colorway number 2. Bog Blossom. These are some of the other ideas I jotted down yesterday for Bog Blossom style, which is a solid with 3 colors. Where'd it go? So that is black with green, yellow, and aqua. So we got a black base, pink, clear, aqua. I think that would be really good. Black base, pink, purple, aqua, and clear. 4. I don't know if 4 would be too much. Could we fit a 4th color on there? Aqua base, pink, yellow, and blue. Lime green, or light green base, green, pink, and yellow speckles. I agree with you, Cliff, that I have the best setup for a pool is when the in-laws, you want somebody else that has a pool, right? That you can use. But I would enjoy it. The beer expense would get really high, I'm sure. What's this essay on? I'll try to possibly check it out after. Is it on the different Lord of the Ring movies? I think you have maybe a little bit of a different animal situation than we do, Cliff. Even though, like, but well, actually, the rule, or not Cliff, Nige, but the rule here, you have to have a fence if you have a pool in ground. But my backyard does get a lot of animals. We have a ton of bunnies. We have deer. I've seen a mountain lion. One. That's anomaly. Never had seen one in my area before. Coyotes. I've seen a fox. We have muskrats, groundhogs, chipmunks. Those I need to get rid of. Maybe like Neil the seal, possibly. Birds. Surprisingly, no squirrels. See those two animals? We don't have to deal with those guys. An alpaca, that's insane. Do you have in-ground, I would assume then, Nige? I never really thought about like the UK and being like a giant island and then really not like what kind of animals do you have? None. I never thought about that, Mark. You guys have a zoo? Is that an American thing? Maybe I thought like Scotland has more wildlife, right? Like I see them having like wild dogs, and that might be just completely made up in my head. Did we get an answer on zoos? Is zoos an American thing? Is zoos? Are zoos? Badgers, foxes, squirrels, deer, most common besides your birds. Okay. What zoo does that say in Ohio? I'm guessing that might be like the wilds, which is not really like a regular zoo. Like that's like a safari zoo, like. But if you did like Cleveland Zoo, that's your average size zoo. The wilds in Cumberland, I nailed it. Look at me, I know my Ohio. so my wife was actually just talking about that, about trying to make a reservation to go. It's kind of like a little, like it's a big zoo, right? So then they take you out like a safari without it being like a safari. But the wilds, that's not a normal zoo that you walk. Oops. My zoos are pretty good. My Akron one, I kind of like the size. We don't really go to it now, but when the kids were a little bit younger, I would push them on the stroller. You could walk it in a half an hour, 40 minutes, so just enough to get out of the house. But Cleveland Zoo, you could spend the whole day, at least half the day up there, and that's quite a bit of walking. And Columbus is even bigger. You could almost spend 2 days at. Cincinnati, I think, is similar to Columbus. Dayton, that's like the farthest in Ohio you can get from me. I think Indianapolis is even closer, out of state, for that yo-yo contest. Is Steve Irwin a loved Australian for Australians? Thanks, Jason. I know it's not Kaleidoscope, but it can be done on a little bit larger scale. Did he die the same week as Dale Earnhardt? I remember that Steve Irwin, when he died, he got the Stingray, right? But I was mostly kind of curious if it was like he's an Australian legend for the outside world. Is he also like for actual native Australians? Oh, you're talking about an Australian race guy. So I am properly American where I don't know anything about soccer, football, and I don't know anything about like F1 racing or racing outside of NASCAR, and I barely know NASCAR. Rally racing seems like it'd be the most interesting and most, I don't know, F1 Indy style seems like there's more skill involved. NASCAR does not seem that entertaining to me. Or like, now, yes, I understand that it's a lot of work, but the Indy, not Indy, but like rally racing also seems like it would have more skill, more driver based than car based. Buttery. See you, Nige. Have a good night, dude. When you wake up, you should know if there's fire blasts. Oh, this one's fire. This is the perfect one. Oh, there you go. This little spike is sweet. These are sea bearing. And I was talking about how it feels more powerful, and that might be... I kind of forgot to account that it's a bigger diameter. So that could be why. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What color was the Trust Jake? This could be the same as Trust Jake, and I... No, Trust Jake had a different color, right? I don't know what color the speckles were on that. I don't think it was the same as Bog Blossom. Maybe it had pink? It'd be more likely there was pink than red, I think. Pink and yellow speckles, okay. Hey, Oakland Jean! Yeah, I think it's depends on what you like. I love that that's another colorway option that's pretty unique and very different than the other things I do. So with the dense speckling, it just gives another variety for people to like. That is mine. That's not Yo-Yo's though, but it is Yo-Yo strings. Thank you. No other delivery yet? It would have been outside on the porch. It's supposed to be here between 9:30 and 11:30. It says I can follow it on the map. Let's see. It's 2 stops away, Oak. Then you have some Yo-Yo parts you can open. Yeah, those ones are raw. They need colored still. You're right. Bright green is very hard to do. This green on these speckles is like the perfect color I want. No, you guys can't see that at all. But the perfect color I want when I think of a bright green base. So I need to remember that because I want to try and do that. Not right now. When? I guess right now. Come on. I can do 2 of them. How about I do some book? You know, I'll just do a couple, and then you color all 4 pages, and it can be like a book.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I do
For Mama, how about for me?
if you get more of those, maybe I'll take one.
Okay. Sounds
You
fair.
have to do this one too.
We're just gonna do 2 pages, just 2.
Really hard boy.
You gonna take this upstairs and color it? Are the big kids still sleeping?
Supposed me wake up.
Hey, if you guys are gonna go to the movie, those big kids can't be on the TV now.
But I was
You were already on the TV? I guess you can't go to the movie. You're out of screen time.
all of us were on the
Yeah, so nobody can go. I just kind of do my best to limit it. Um, Unfortunately, it's an easy way for them to entertain, but also I don't really want them learning from the TV. I don't know how to... I don't know. That probably makes sense to anybody else that's a parent. Like, it is very nice to have a built-in babysitter a little bit, but also I don't like a lot of the things that are portrayed, and it's such a pain to go through Netflix or Disney and hide or remove content. Even once you like limit it down to an age, you still have to remove certain shows that I don't want them watching. And it's not like I can just click on the show and hit remove. You have to go like just a whole special setup. Mostly, like, we have the Dude Perfect app. Mostly everything on there is okay. The issue with that is a lot of short form content. If they watch that all day, they just become little monsters. So I really got to limit that versus a movie, because they'll get they'll get kind of bored during a movie and decide to go do something else. But if you have endless shorter videos, like on the Dude Perfect app, they can sit there all day. I mean, I usually, what do I watch now? Um, Really not a whole lot of almost any TV. I'll watch YouTube, golf stuff. I watch golf on TV and sports. I do like watching Savannah Bananas, Dude Perfect with the kids. But outside of that, when they're watching TV, that's my time to really try and get some things done. But you also have better winters. Winter is so hard. Dark at 5 o'clock. I think there'll be, I don't know. The phone epidemic is going to be weird. I don't know. I kind of think it just like anything, up and down. It comes in waves, and I think that it'll spike back the other way, even though we have phones. I think maybe the younger generation will get off of them because they see the older generation and their parents addicted to it. We'll see. So I keep my son busy with sports. Otherwise, he would like to game more. And it's hard because I loved gaming. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I would not like him to game the sessions that I gamed. The sessions of 8 hours plus in a row, Halo 2, was not healthy. But also, I think about that as some of the best times. I think life in my household, if I could get my wife to do it and me without social media, would be better overall. Um, I have a hard time figuring out a good way that how can I interact with fans and run a business that you need social media for. Yeah, my night's playing RuneScape too. Like, just the ability to sit and like immerse yourself in something and not have a bunch of other things on your mind is wild. This is a beautiful color spinning, this tidal spray. Whew. It's the one that excels of the three while spinning. Yeah, I think that most of my brain rot comes on Instagram and not even Facebook that much. Mostly Instagram and X. Um, so in theory, I could put Instagram just on like a tablet and post from there. But I do feel like there's certain aspects of needing to see, and this is just made up to enable my addiction, right? You want to see what the trends are, what's getting posted, what you should be posting, and you also want to see what customers are kind of doing. But most of the addiction and brain rot, I would say, is Instagram Reels and X. X is just personal. I don't even really. I tried to build Fifth Mission on it. For some reason, yo-yoers are not on X. Yeah, I don't really post. I guess I post on the Fifth Mission account on X. I don't really use that account anymore though. But I get a lot of my. I read. I guess. Hmm. Sports stuff, and then just whatever's popping up on content. Because my Instagram, I've tried to remove political from. So if you control what you like and what you watch, the algorithm feeds you more of that stuff. So if you just scroll past anything political, it won't continue to feed it to you. I think Reddit's the worst, not for like what I sink time into, but the anonymous nature of it, and the like the what do you want to call it, groupthink. Like on Reddit with the logos Ryan made that people would comment AI, and it immediately didn't get seen by other people, and people would just upvote the AI. So what gets seen is people commenting and liking that it's AI, like AI slop, don't post it here, but it's not AI, and it's not an honest conversation there. Political rage. And it's just online. If you would talk to a lot of those people in person, it would be a completely different conversation. Yeah, the and I don't even understand it. Like I think they like there's a like they get a feeling, or like I don't know, what's the definition of virtue signaling? I don't know. They get like they feel good about calling something out, and then oh, they're not even going to say anything when they're proven wrong. Um, but you can't have an honest conversation there with them. Yes, exactly. I even told one of those people, I'm like, oh, if I ever come to a West Coast contest, I'll buy you a beer to, you can explain how my thinking is. I think he called me brain dead. I need some more strings. I'm not gonna do that right now though. Bum, ba, 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 ba. The problem is I don't think the main thing there was that they were talking about like they feel good saving an artist's job, but there's certain things that AI does that you can't use an artist for um, feasibly, and even like when I like the one specific example, Ryan made the art and they're calling it AI, so then they're going to give AI backlash to an artist's work. And yep, that means so all that did was hurt that artist's job, right? Because if you're going to scream and shout AI, don't support this when it's an actual artist, what's the point of using an actual artist at that point? Now, on my end, I'm always going to use Ryan because he's been with me for over 10 years and created the whole catalog of art, probably the most art in the yo-yo world used on yo-yos. Like outside of like Higby doing paintings, I think Ryan has got to have the most published artwork. Yeah, I think they are young, naive, and I think that they're a certain, like I said, like groupthink. So it's like almost like a breeding grounds for a specific type of thought, and you're not allowed to have a different thought than them right now with how the setup is. But doesn't mean that my thoughts are completely right. And on that, we're gonna go have some breakfast. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Um, Honey Buzzard Sweet. Make pocket yo-yos again. See you guys.